Hello everybody, my name is Chikirza, and welcome to another art journal video. Today we're continuing to work in my small Canson mixed media sketchbook. Picked out some colors to start with today. A green, a yellow, and I wanted to play with some neon colors, so I picked out a neon orange and a neon blue. That'll be fun. Ooh, these are a little bit harder to hold in one hand than I thought. I'm also, as usual, going to be able to use a black and a white acrylic paint. All of these paints I purchased at the Dollar Tree. So let's get started. I don't have a plan today, I just thought I'd do something intuitive, something colorful, and I felt like playing with the neon paints. So just draw a random line on the paper. That looks good, let's do another one. Starting off with that green. I'm using an angle brush here. I have no idea what size it is. Again, this is a paintbrush that I picked up at a dollar store sometime last summer when I bought a whole bunch of art supplies. And just doing random shapes in this color on the page. Being completely random. Do another little squiggle over here. And a little V up top. Looks good. Fixing up a couple of those lines there. Clean out my brush. And on to the next color. Using the neon blue here. I don't know about you, but I don't really think that this is very neon. Maybe I was expecting it to be brighter, but I mean it's a nice color of blue. It's just not. I was expecting something brighter. So again, I'm just going in and putting the lines wherever I feel like it. And since I already have the green line there to use as a guideline, I'm putting the blue beside the green right now. Clean out my brush and move on to the next color. Now let's try this neon orange. And whoa, that is neon. Holy. That's like the neon color that you see on the construction safety vests. It's definitely bright, but it's also really transparent. So if you were to use this over top of a dark color, I don't think it would show up. You'd probably have to do a coat of white underneath it in order for it to show up. But that is definitely neon orange. Loving it! So I do a second coat here, just to intensify that color. And do I want to do any more orange here? I decide, nope, I can always come back and add more orange later. Let's move on to the next color. Time for some yellow. So I couldn't find a neon yellow, so I picked a nice bright yellow. And it's not super transparent, but it's not super opaque either. It's kind of in between. So again, I'm just placing the colors wherever I feel like at the moment. They don't have to be beside the same colors at the same time. Here I'm putting the yellow beside the blue, instead of beside the green like I did with the other ones. Now if I had mapped this out, it might have been a little bit different, but I'm just doing what I feel as I feel like doing it. Now for my favorite color, black! Let's do a big black circle in the center here. I just felt like at this point that the page needed a little bit more weight. I've got lots of color, But my lines are pretty sloppy, and I thought, well, let's go in with the black and see if that adds some weight to the page. So filling in some of those empty spaces with the black acrylic paint, and I'm still using the angle brush here. And I do have to say, I'm actually really liking this black from the Dollar Tree. I normally use the DecoArt black acrylic paint, and I really like that one. This one here is a very close second, but I think, honestly, if I had to choose, if I could only take one, I'd probably still lean towards the DecoArt one, just because I think I've been using it longer, so I'm just more comfortable with it. Not to say that this one is no good, just, you know how you get into a comfort zone and you tend to use a product because you've been using it? But who knows, maybe in another couple of months after using this one, I might be like, you know what, they're both on par. Either one of them would work. So I'm just filling in some of the lines using the end of my brush. And some of the spots where my lines were really sloppy and overlapping, I'm just making the lines a little bit thicker. Needed to get a little bit more paint in the lid there, because that's where I'm using, or that's where I'm getting the paint from instead of putting it on my paint palette beside me. I realized at this point that I forgot to paint in that one little white spot, so fill that in with black. And this has also given me the opportunity to play with getting better with applying paint with the brush. I usually tend to lean towards using my paint pens, my acrylic paint pens, if I have to do lines of any sort on the page. But today, I just felt like playing with my brush. I'm not going to get any better if I don't practice with it. Now, what do I want to do with that middle part of the page? I left it blank. I could really go with any color I wanted here. I was debating about putting in more orange, but in the end, I decided let's try putting a circle of blue around that black circle in the center first and see if I can add. I just felt like as if I had a big block of color in the center, it was just going to be too much color. I wanted to break it up a little bit more. And now let's fill in that area with the yellow. So at this stage here, I was thinking that I'd put the yellow in the big center section, like I am here right now, and maybe put the neon orange on the outside parts that I'm going to be leaving white. But then as I was looking at it while I was painting, I thought, no, I kind of want to add more black to that instead. So I ended up changing the shape into a pointed end there on each of the ends of the big middle section, just so that I could get it to work, because I had like a big wide open space. Make the pointy end on this one too, and I'm also fixing up some of those lines where I got sloppy when I was painting the yellow in the center and ended up painting over top of the black line. So I just went over them and touched them up again. So I could have left it at this stage. However, I felt that it needed a little bit more, and I still just wanted to play. So let's put a circle around that blue circle in the center and do some dots in it. Well, now those dots look out of place because they're just there by themselves. So I grabbed a white acrylic paint pen and did some white dots on all of the black sections. I could have just done parts of them, but I felt like filling them all in. So that's what I did. And if I don't end up liking this painting in the end, it's okay, because I can do another one. Learn something from doing this one, and create something new. Did a big swirly spiral in the center of that circle with a white acrylic paint pen. And then I thought that the center needed just a little more lines, a little bit more weight. And looking at this now, I think I would have filled in that whole inside section with black instead of just the inside section with the black that I'm doing the white dots on right now. I decided to change how the center part looked by adding some more black to the center of it. And called it done. Is this my favorite page? No. There's some things I'd like to change about it if I did it again next time. But I had fun, and I got a really cool Trippy painting out of it. And another page done in my art journal. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.